What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Donrico back at it again from the Imperial Empire, and I actually am on my way to get my car serviced in Temecula. So I thought, you know what? Why not just talk to the people, share work with the people, you know, because I do have a bit of an understanding on this topic that I actually want to talk about, and I kind of talked about it before in the last video about like being like embracing like your villain arc or your villain era. So I kind of want to extrapolate that just on a little bit, just to provide some additional clarification and understanding as to what to expect, because contrary to popular belief, there is a price that you're going to have to pay in order to reach the levels that you want to reach. And unfortunately, most of us, if not all of us, are going to have to go through our own personal villain arc or villain era. And it's not the villain era that you think it is, like you're intentionally becoming the bad guy, but you will be portrayed as such. Because remember, if they viewed Jesus Christ as a demon back in the day and they killed him for it, what makes you think that that same thing won't happen to you or something similar, whether it be your reputation or etc. But once we get out there and we get it rocking, I'll extrapolate further. So I'll catch you on the flip side. So I'm back outside, I'm back out on the streets, and I really want to get into the specific subject matter in terms of like embracing the villain arc, or at least in the beginning phases, because it's going to feel like there is a separation, especially in the beginning. Hey yo, shout out to Cali. I did not think that the weather would be so nice. And I know that there are certain parts of the country that's currently going through a snowstorm and they're going through these blizzards. So hopefully y'all get through it real quick. Spring is almost coming. It'll be over soon enough, all right? So shout out to y'all, but I digress. Anyway, this is what I mean by kind of embracing the villain arc. There is going to be a bit of a separation here. And the reason why is that you need to understand and or you realize is that there is going to be a cost that is going to be associated with whatever it is that you want to do in terms of like being the best version of yourself or being the most ideal version of yourself. What you're going to have to realize, and what you're going to have to realize quickly, is that everybody that was with you when you first started is not going to be with you when you get to wherever it is that you're trying to go. Everybody come with you. Steve Harvey will say this a lot. Everybody come with you, but not everyone can go with you. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is you're going to lose a lot of friends, or you're going to lose people, primarily because you're on this new path. You're on this journey towards discovering yourself, who it is that you truly are, what your niche is. You want to take a chance and a gamble on yourself. Even creating content right now, what it is that I'm doing right now is taking a gamble on yourself. You're really putting yourself out there. You're putting your face out there. You're putting your name out there. You're putting your thoughts and your opinions out there. And it takes a lot of courage to actually do this too, because most people, if we're going to be completely honest with you, are not walking around recording themselves on the camera. And in the beginning, it's going to be cringe. But it could be cringe now and you get paid later. And this is something that is normally reserved for people who have thick skin. Now, how does this relate to the whole villain arc thing that I'm trying to talk about, especially in the beginning? You're taking a chance on yourself and you're doing something new. And by taking a chance on yourself and doing something new, what that is going to enable you, or what you're going to realize, is that you're going to have to be a different person. You're going to have to be a different version of yourself. You're going to have to learn to really step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the things that you normally wouldn't embrace, or you wouldn't even thought that you would embrace. You're going to have some courage about you. You're going to have to really go through a sort of a humiliation ritual to become something else, because you can't keep going on the same path and being the same person as you've always have been and expecting a different result or a different outcome to come with it. You're going to have to be something and someone different. So you're going to have to change, whether you're going to have to get your confidence up, whether you're just going to have to push through, whether you're going to have to learn to endure, you're going to have to study, you're going to have to be the best at what you do and continuously be better. And there are parts of you that's going to change, and there are also parts of you that is going to die. So with that being said, as you begin to change, whether it be in fitness, whether it be content creation, whether it be your career, there are people in your life and out in the world that know you, whether it be your friends, whether it be your family, whether it be your spouses. They're going to look at you differently, and one of two things is going to happen, because they're going to comment on it. They're going to comment on how much you've changed. They're going to comment on how much you're different, that you're brand new, or so on and so forth. And what you're going to have to understand and realize is that one of two things is going to come as a result of that. Either going to be well-intentioned and well-meaning, and they're going to look at you as some sort of an inspiration, and they're going to push you to continue to grow and to support your growth, or more oftentimes than not, unfortunately, you're going to be pushed out. And as human beings, we are social animals. We are the preeminent social animals on the planet. So it is in us to belong to a social group. It is in us to socialize with other human beings because that's just who we are. It's who we are as people. It's who we are as a species. It's tied and correlated to our well-being and to our mental health. So that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that it's very difficult to be removed from the tribe and from the pack because it's a tribal fear. It's a tribal fear to be removed from the tribe, to remove from the pack, because that almost guarantees death. It's like a primal fear that it pushes you out into the wilderness, so to speak. And what people don't understand, especially in the modern world, that's exactly what you need in order to be a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself, because you're going to have to become better. You're going to have to become stronger. You're going to have to become smarter. You're going to have to become fitter. You're going to have to become richer. I don't care what it is. Something within you has to change. And it's not about external change, because anybody can just go out and dye their hair, get a new outfit, and so on and so forth. But they're still the same. They're still that same person. They're still that same individual. And how does this tie, again, into the villain era and what it is that I'm trying to speak on? You're going to be excommunicated from your tribe. There are people that are in your life right now. They won't hesitate to cut you out. And primarily because they don't understand you. They don't understand what it is that you're going through. They don't understand your need or your desire to be better, to become more, to become something different. They're not going to understand that. They're not going to get it. So you guys need to remove this idea from your head that they're going to be with you and support you, because they're not. And the origin story for a lot of villains, whether they be good, bad, or just in the sense of talking about the villain arc here, in terms of dialogue and conversation, in terms of becoming a better version of yourself, it stems from, usually in the beginning, from a sense of misunderstanding. They don't know what it is that you're going through. They don't know why it is that you need to change. They don't know what it is that you have for yourself, these visions that you see in your head that God has planted into you. They don't understand that. What they understand and what they see is, oh, he doesn't hang out with us as much. Oh, she doesn't come over as much as she used to. Or, oh, they acting all different around us. Oh, they don't care about the same stuff that we do. They actually kind of low-key judge us for caring about the same stuff that we used to care about. Whether it be partying, whether it be chasing women, whatever it is, right? Whatever your social group at the time has embraced as part of the core of the group itself, you're slowly but surely going to be pushed out. And that's by design. You're going to be pushed into the wilderness. I need you guys to hear me. The origin of your story, because they say it's lonely at the top, but it's not necessarily true. It's not lonely at the top because there are other people who have reached the top that understand your pain and what you've gone through once you've reached there. It's lonely on your journey to the top because you're going to be pushed out of whatever group that you initially were a part of. And that initial misunderstanding, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. And you're going to try, and I know this, you're going to try to convince them that, hey, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for a better future for myself. Hey, I'm doing this because I want something different for myself. I want a different result. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about that. The only thing that they care about is you don't talk to us as much as you used to. You don't come around as much as you used to. You don't hit us up as much as you used to. And they take it as a slight. And though you may try to go out of your way to understand or try to get them to understand your point of view and your perspective, you're doing it in vain. You're doing it in vain because they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. I have to get out of my comfort zone and be a newer version of myself to be more comfortable speaking on camera in a public setting. I'm sure y'all can see all around me. There are cars, there are people, and you can check all throughout my content when I'm blogging in the cities or in certain areas. There are people all around me, but I still got a job to do. I still got to get a message out to the people, regardless. That requires you to be a newer version of yourself. You're going to have to step into deeper waters. You're going to have to be cast into the wilderness. Listen, embrace it because you're going to be cast. And that's usually the beginning of a villain arc. That's usually the beginning of your villain era. stems from the misunderstanding. It stems from being pushed out of whatever social group that you initially were a part of in the beginning. And you're going to go through a lonely, grueling, and painful journey to become a much better version of yourself. And the ones that come out on top are the ones that can endure the longest. It's not about how well you go through it. It's not about how fast you go through it. It's about how long you go through it. It's about how you endure. The race is not given to the swift. It's given to he who endures to the end. And so that's how the game is played. It's an endurance race in all facets, whether it be, and I know this because I'm really heavy into fitness. It takes years to reach a certain level of physique because your body has to go through changes, whether it be hormonal changes, body composition changes, your dietary changes, whatever. Your body goes through changes. And as you go through these changes, these things take time. These things don't come overnight. These things don't come in like within a month or so. You may see beginning changes quickly, but it's going to take more years down the road before you actually start really getting to the gist of the compounding interest of whatever it is that you're putting in. Again, compound interest applies to all things. This is what I'm actually trying to communicate to you in closing. In the beginning of a villain arc or a villain era, there is going to be a lonely phase. There is going to be an isolation phase. There is going to be a phase to where you're pushed out of whatever group setting or whatever club or belonging that you used to be a part of, and you're going to be cast into the desert, cast into the wilderness, cast into the forest, cast into the mountains, cast off the mountains, and cast into the valleys, and you're going to have to go through it. And in the beginning, it's going to be grueling. They're not going to understand it. Stop going out of your way trying to convince them or try to explain to them what it is that you're going through and what it is that you want for yourself, because they're not going to get it or understand it because they're not going through the same journey as you are. If they did, they will understand it. And a lot of times they say that they will understand it, but they still don't, and they'll still act different around you because they don't understand it. And that's not nothing for you to hold personally against them. They just don't understand your journey. They don't understand your path. They don't understand what it is that you're trying to do for yourself, okay? So that's in that essence, you do have to have a bit of grace for them. But the villain arc and the villain era usually starts from isolation and misunderstanding. It starts from casting out. You have to be cast out from where you once were. You have to be plucked from the masses, plucked from whatever group or norm that you are part of, so that you can be isolated by yourself, so you can get to know yourself on a much deeper level. That's all it really is. That's how it usually begins. Now, obviously there's more to it, but I don't got enough time to actually get into the rest of it. So I'll probably just start off right here, and I'll probably cut it right here. All right, listen. Have the courage to be thrown out, to be cast out, and you'll be just fine. But you got to endure, and most importantly, you cannot quit. Because you've gone all through all this suffering for what? To put your tail between your legs and turn back around to what you used to know? Because you know for damn sure you can't go back over there, because back over there, you know that's where you first started. You know the results are not there. You know the life that you desired and the version of you that you've always wanted to be is not there. So you might as well just go through it. But I already know most people won't. And that's why the few become the elite. That's why the few become rich. And that's why the few become successful. And the most and the majority are right there in the middle. It is what it is, but that's the truth, all right? I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Deuces.